Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
And I'm that free LC that ruins your favorite game. How you guys doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. A lot of big life changes, but pretty good. Got to do some gaming.
Damn.
Father's Day has been all right.
Oh, yeah. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. It's my first one.
Nick, to your daughter, and Bobby, to all the programs you've written, I suppose, would be something like that. Falls in the right category.
Sniper, your cat.
Your cat. Several cats. It's Cristiano, dude. That's his name.
Oh, Cristiano.
Cristiano, yeah.
Is he from España, Cristiano?
Yeah. I would like to remind everybody that if you want to do anything DLG related, including watching or listening to our movie podcast, Movies on the DL, it can all be found at dlgaming.net, aka Gamers Nirvana. From there, you can find merch, pictures of us, weird things that we've written in the past. I don't even know if that's still up there.
I think so.
Yeah. Just all things DLG, it's all there. Take the next step. I dare you. All right. Yeah, let's get into the radar, yeah?
Yep, let's do it. Before we do that, though, quick shout out to SMI Jeff, subscribing for a year and a half.
Dude, it's Jeff, dude.
Thank you. That's crazy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about on the radar games that have come to our attention. So,
really quick, about the radar in general, it's crazy right now.
It's bananas, dude. Like, I wanted to put so much stuff on there, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to put these things on there because we've got E3, we've got Steam Fest or Game Fest going on Steam, where I seriously downloaded like 5 or 6 demos. It's so much on there that I want to check out. So much that looks good.
Yeah.
But what I did want to talk about is I came across an interesting article. I think it was on Tech Raptor, and it was titled "All the Left 4 Dead Clones at E3." And I thought, okay, I love Left 4 Dead. Let's check this out. And it just listed all these games that they announced. Not all the games that were announced at E3, but all the ones that basically are 4-player co-op games like Left 4 Dead. And honestly, I'm okay with it, man. Like, sure, if we're all just going to jump on, if we're all just going to copycat one game, let's make it Left 4 Dead.
How long does it take the industry to catch up to Valve, dude? In general, forever. Dude,
yeah, well, I don't know, because why now? Why is now like everybody making these 4-player co-op games?
I think because they realize
I think I have the idea. I think it's what it is that we've seen all these BRs and shit, and everybody wants to, you know, everyone for a while has been used to these 100-player games and stuff like that they want to play a 4-player game. And then the second thing is that like streaming, you know, is like a big influence on all that kind of shit. And so I think those kind of games, like 4-player games, get a lot of streamers as well. So I think that's what's causing the industry to produce more of these games.
It definitely lends itself to like 4 mid-level streamers getting together and all kind of like mixing their fan base together, and that's good for everybody. There is that for sure, but I think there is some realizing that unless you're Battlefield 6, you getting thousands of players on your server at the same time isn't realistic with how many games are coming out. 4 is like a nice number. Like, even if you're a complete loser, you can rent 3 friends.
Yeah, so if you go with one of those bigger games, like if you aim too big, like a battle royale, your game just doesn't work unless you got a big player base. But a game that requires 3 other people to play with,
that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little more doable.
Yeah.
So the first one on the list is Rainbow Six Extraction. This is a single-player co-op version of Rainbow Six. Now, they had Siege out that's been very successful and continues to be. To me, I always remember the old Rainbow Six games. The first one, Rogue Spear. I remember playing that map where the Hacienda was a great map. The one where you go onto basically Pirates of the Caribbean and you have to like kill terrorists or retrieve hostages. But there are these single player maps. You could play by yourself and give commands, or you could play with other people. I loved those games back in the day. So I'm hoping to see something kind of like that with this. Based on the trailer, it looks like there's some sort of supernatural element to this.
What?
Yeah, it got a little weird. I would not have
geez.
expected that from Rainbow Six. But yeah, there's some alien-looking guys in this. So yeah, I thought Rainbow Six Siege was a great game that I am terrible at.
Oh, Bobby, those are just Germans, dude.
Oh, that's just Germans?
Yeah, just weird
Just
Germans.
the Ubermensch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. But I'm so bad at Rainbow Six that it's just like, I wish I could, it's like Rocket League. I wish I could play that game, but I'm so bad at it that I just don't do it. So a single player or a co-op Rainbow Six, yeah, dude, love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
The other one on there, all these, by the way.
I didn't know anything about that game, by the way. I didn't even know it existed until you said it.
Yeah, there's just so much.
Dude, I feel like we got a year and a half of content in 1 month.
Yeah, it's
Basically.
kind of strange how it all happened at once.
Yeah.
I feel like we've kind of gotten away from that one announcement day, or all the announcements are happening now and people announce on their own schedule, but I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, they still. So all these other companies decided not to go with E3, but then scheduled their shit at the same time as E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exciting times.
Yeah, which really surprised me as well, because Nintendo had their Direct and all this other stuff, and it's like, wait, you guys are just doing this within the same week. What the fuck?
Yeah. All right, so the next game is Evil Dead, the game. Not an exciting title. There's been a lot of Evil Dead games out there. Huge fan of the Evil Dead series. Absolutely love it. Played some of the games. This is a co-op, but also a versus mode, and it looks like there are execution animations. They really show quite a few of those. You're killing the Deadites. That's what they call them in Evil Dead. You can play as characters, obviously Ash, the characters from the new TV show, which I was kind of iffy on. Love Evil Dead, but the TV show, I watched the first season.
I like the first season. I love it.
It didn't convince me to watch the second season.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Same boat. But I did enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah. Apparently you can play as Eric the Red, or I can't remember. I think that's his name, from Army of Darkness. But yeah, so a lot of characters from that universe. They've got Bruce Campbell doing the voiceover for the commercial here. Could be good, man. I love Evil Dead. You can play as the Deadites in this as well. And I guess you kill them by scaring them to death. So you build up fear, and that's what kills them. All the iconic locations, the cabin, the shed.
Graphically, it looks better than what I would expect this game to look like. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think there was another Evil Dead game a long time ago, and it did not look good at all, but this looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Evil Dead games. Also, the next one, the Anacrusis, I think is how you pronounce it. This one looks, I don't know. This one could go either way, but this is a 50s retro in space style. You're on a spaceship, stranded in the middle of space, and you're fighting off aliens. Again, co-op, up to 4-player. Repeat the levels, you level up, earn talents and perks. Yeah, I don't know. This is the one, the gameplay didn't look that impressive, but it's so hard to break these trailers down and really get a good idea for what the game's going to look like.
A lot of these things are so early. Like, you can't even tell what's going on. Yeah. But at least I would say for this game, at least you can get away with a little bit of campiness just because of the setting, which is, it could be refreshing.
Yeah, it could be good. We'll see. The next game is actually already out. This one's called Strange Brigade. This is made by Rebellion, the guys who made all those sniper games. Even the logo looks like the sniper logo. This game is already out, and it is a 4-player co-op, but based on the reviews a lot of people have been posting on the Steam page, it seems more of a single-player game where you can have other people join you. This one takes place 1930s Egypt. Looks kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of feel to it. You're exploring, shooting up mummies.
Bobby, I'm going to shoot this one down.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot it down like you were the developer. I'm like, hey, man, I like where you were going, but it didn't seem to pan out. We're going to have to let you go.
Okay. I like your ambitions. Fair. Your pitch is great, but
that's fair. This is probably the weakest one out of all of them.
Okay.
This
very
game's
quick.
$50 too, by the way.
Very quick on the last one.
Oh fuck that.
The last one's on Game Pass. The retro futuristic one.
The Anacrusis?
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
Game Pass. Whatever. Yeah, launch day.
Okay. Fall 2021 is when that one's supposed to be out.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Last one is Redfall. And this one, okay, so we've had mummies, we've had zombies, we've had aliens. Now, what's the other thing that you can mow down carelessly and not feel bad about it?
Women PMSing.
Nazis?
Nazis, good answer, but no.
No.
Vampires.
Oh, vampire.
Yeah. So this one you're fighting vampires, and this one looks a little more. It looks a little more narrative driven. I don't know. The trailer doesn't give much away, but this is by the guys who made Prey and Dishonored, the Arcane studio, I think in Montreal. So yeah, it looks like it's a little more character driven. Like it's got a little more of a story to tell and a campaign. Maybe
Great
not just
CGI.
recycle the levels. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there it
That
is,
does look
man. We gotta. I guess this year is just going to be all about the Left 4 Dead clones, the co-op. I'm here for it. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Dude, if that's the new trend, yes.
Yeah, let's do it. And just the other ones we talked about last week too. Aliens, Fire Team, Back for Blood coming out any day now. And then the other one that I
No,
can't.
that's October.
Back for Blood.
That's
I could have swore that was a June 20 something release date.
I got that from one of our people on our Discord, so take it for what it was. Hey, Sniper.
What's with
Hey, Cristiano. Can you find out what Back for Blood while we're arguing about it over here? Thank you. I know you're having a taste of your raspberry slushy, dude, but we got work to do around here.
October 12th. Why was I thinking June? I could have swore it had a June release date.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, it'll be by Halloween.
You know,
I've been
sometimes, Bobby, it gets tired of me being right over you all the time. Like, I need you to do some work around here sometimes. This guy with his raspberry slushy and you with your grandeur.
So quick question. With all these, IP, like these IPs showing up, especially ones that are kind of like not really well known to like modern people, like Evil Dead, do you guys think that what IP would you guys like to see in the future for like a 4-person co-op or even a 6-person co-op?
Well, we know yours is 40K. Okay, let me
No.
ask you, dude. 40K is already being done, but where in the 40K universe? I hate how the 40K universe is so robust, and we just always focus on the Space Marines. I guess because they speak English. That helps with translation.
That's
right?
yeah, that's the primary thing. But the thing is, like, that's what Darktide is. They had like the writing thing about it. You know what? I wasn't going to talk about Warhammer, but you did this to me. Darktide's like, oh, this isn't about Space Marines. This is about the actual humans in the Imperium, and the writer that's writing Space Marine. I mean, the writers that are writing Darktide. His name is Dan Abnett, and he writes only about humans. He doesn't really write about Space Marines and stuff, besides like the couple Horus Heresy books he did, but that was ages ago. And so he's like, regular humans tell a way better story than just fucking big ass Space Marines punching shit. So I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. But I think it would be nice to see other races.
And the Darktide is regular humans, right? That's the whole thing.
Yes. You are regular ass humans.
Yeah.
Besides an Ogren, who's technically a normal human, but his planet just makes them really stupid, and they're really big, like 9 feet, 12 feet tall.
Like, I'm so happy to a certain point, and then I get so sad that I actually asked a question at a certain point. You just take it a little too far every time, Nick. It's okay, dude. We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it in therapy. So what IPs would you guys like to see in a 4-player co-op game?
No, they've done so many of them. I'm thinking of the ones they haven't done. So we haven't really seen a pirate version of this. And well, you have Sea of Thieves, 4-player co-op, but not really like a shooter.
Yeah, it's a weird.
And we haven't seen a Western version of this, I don't think.
You want to see Western Fusion or just Western? Wait. Speaking of Western Fusion, do you guys remember a game called Samurais and Cowboys?
No.
Or Cowboy Samurai? It was like this all right game, but it was so cool because
Well, let's bring it up anyway.
Huh?
Let's bring it up anyway if it was just all right. It's cool.
It was just an interesting topic. Like, it's always Cowboys are never like cool enough for everybody to get into them. Like, they made Cowboys versus Aliens, like the movie, and like a bunch of other shit. So I'm like, Cowboys and Samurais. That's interesting.
It's amazing that that movie got made. Like just the
Yeah,
title.
and Daniel Craig's the lead.
Yeah. I mean, good for them. Was this game good, Nick?
I mean, 12-year-old samurai obsessed Nick loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good for him at the time.
Yeah, I was like, bro, you get a gun and a samurai sword? What's up? It was awesome.
So I'll talk about a few games. Guys, so much got released. And the way that I thought about it was I don't have to nail them all this week. Like, I could just spread this out over the next 4 months because a lot of these games aren't coming out for a year. So I have 3 or 4 wells I can just go to and a lot of them have demos according to the Summers Fest. What is that called, Bobby?
It's on the
Summer
Steam
Game
main page.
Fest.
Yeah, it's
I feel like.
Steam Fest, Summer Fest.
Anyway, had no idea this was coming out. Orcs Must Die 3. Huge fan of the first game. Wave Survival. That's Bobby's jam, if you will. We had a good time with that game. 2 came out and felt like it was trying too hard and just cramming too many things in it.
Could you play co-op on the first one?
I believe so. I think that was their big thing.
I thought the second one was where they introduced the co-op.
I remember we bought 2 and didn't play it. Like it just wasn't as good.
There's something about Wave Survival, Sanctum, Orcs Must Die. Like all these games came out, and you play them, and you're like, okay, this game is great. I should play more of this, and then you just don't.
Let's just talk about what it is real quick. It's tower defense, where you play as a third-person character as well. So you go and you set up all these traps, and then waves and waves of orcs come at you, and your traps kill the majority of them, but you have like a crossbow, or maybe you're a mage and you're shooting like whatever, and you kill the stragglers. Hopefully, that's how you want it to work out. But obviously, you could do it over and over until you find the right combination of traps, and then I believe your character progression largely has to do with either you going down the power yourself up or power your traps kind of thing. Which was, I mean, it all sounds great, and it was great in its own way, but 2 just kind of fell on its face for us.
There's a little bit more of the same, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember what it was, dude, that turned this off. Maybe Smite, honestly. Smite or like TF2. You know, there was just better stuff at the time. The third one, my love for the first one isn't so buried that I'm not excited for the third one.
It's been a long time, too.
It's been a long time.
About due for another one.
Absolutely. I love tower defense. And then if you throw action with tower defense, I mean, that's a very good marriage of genres. This has, now that technology has advanced, apparently the number of orcs that they can, now it's like sieges, entire armies of orcs coming towards you.
That's
and
cool.
That you have these things called war machines, I believe they are. And it's like gigantic versions of your regular traps. So like you could still have the spike trap, but this is for killing hundreds at a time, and you put them way out in the field, and then eventually it trickles down into the smaller traps. And I thought that was a great idea. It makes you feel far more powerful killing thousands of these motherfuckers. But the graphics are way better. I mean, leaps and bounds. And I'm very glad for that.
Well, a lot of time has passed. The second one came out in 2013, 2015.
I just hope that the game holds. I hope it's fun. That's all I need. Fun and multiplayer, which it has. So,
all right.
Yeah. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. We talked about it a little bit last episode, I believe. I delved into it a little more. That's another one for you, Cristiano. You can write that one down. Delved. It's a past tense for delve. Yeah. Look at him. Look at him write it down. Looking it up in his dictionary. Anyway, it is a...
It's a Borderlands game.
It's a spin-off. And it's largely playing off of their Borderlands 2 DLC, which was like a D&D version, or at least it had a light smattering of D&D on top of it. They pretended that there was die rolls and stuff like this. But this game, actually, you create a character. You don't have to pick one of, like just like in Borderlands where there's 3 options or 4 options and then you play. You actually roll a character with dice and all that stuff. And then you play, I believe it's a first-person shooter. They haven't actually even said, I couldn't find the perspective that you're playing through. But largely, yeah, you're going to play through a looter shooter and stuff. But a lot of things have changed. Like there's no grenades. They've been replaced by spells. And it's more of like loot what you can for that character because it's that one playthrough. It's a roguelite, I believe. It's exciting for me. I mean, it has that Borderlands look. It has that cel-shaded, beautiful graphics, and I'll definitely check this out.
A lot of big names in this, too. Andy Samberg, Wanda Sykes, Will Arnett doing voices.
I love Wanda Sykes and shit, dude. She's so funny.
Yeah, she has a very good voice for voiceover. I'm like, it's just so distinct. Go ahead, Nick.
So yeah, for this week I have Psychonauts 2. I really didn't play the Psychonauts first game. I was too young and dumb. I was like, Call of Duty better. I like Call of Duty. But seeing Psychonauts 2 and seeing all the changes and a bunch of other shit, like how good it looks, is making me want to play the first one again. I was surprised to see that it was going to come out on PC, so I can't wait for it to come out. There's obviously a lot of graphical changes, some storyline changes, and also like different gameplay aspects that they're changing. Like it's no longer kind of like the first one where they made small changes while you're playing the game. Like you can play in different like aspects and like there's first person, third person, all that stuff in the game sometimes. But for this newest one, it's all it just looks good to me, at least. I don't know. I've been watching Leslie play a lot of Ratchet and Clank, and this reminds me of Ratchet and Clank for some reason. So I definitely want to get into it.
It's kind of an expensive game, man. It's over 1,000 rubles. Or $60 American.
Dude, the Ratchet and Clank like art style, now that I think about it and you point that out, it's almost exactly the same, dude. They have tiny little bodies and these like elongated rectangular heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I played the first one way after it was popular, like way after. I played it for the podcast. I think Bobby, it might have been a homework assignment or something like that. And I loved it. Fucking loved it. To this day, it's my go-to mention for level design. I think it's one of the best level design that's ever come out. You do have to play, Bobby, help me with this. Does the Steam version just work, or is it the GOG version that works better? Like, it's so old that it doesn't run very well.
Well, I had a
I
problem
think
with
the GOG version is the one that works better, but go ahead. Sorry, you asked Bobby.
I think I played this on my Mac, and I think that's why I had a problem, but I had to run it in such a way that it only used one core. Otherwise, it wouldn't run. Yeah.
I didn't have any issues, so I think the Steam version works just fine. But I remember there was some sort of issues.
I think it was on my Mac, and this was probably 7 years ago when I played Psychonauts.
Nick, I would definitely play it. You're just going to burn right through this as good as you are as a video game.
And Psychonauts too, we've known about this for years now, for a really long time, but it's exciting that we actually have a release date now, August 25th. Game's coming out. I'm a little surprised at the $60 price tag. That seems pretty high, but there must be a lot of game in there.
I think we're gonna see Psychonauts 2 be like a full AAA game. Like it's gonna be at least 10 hours long. It's gonna have high replayability because like I paid 70 schmeckles for fucking for Ratchet and Clank 2 because it's on PS5. I was like, man, it's fucking $70, man. Like, geez, like games are getting expensive on PS5.
Hey Nick, is that the new price point?
70, $69.99.
Is that new AAA's on PS5 are now $70? Is that the thing?
Some of them. Apparently, it's going to be the new standard from now on.
Zap on our Discord was saying like that game is ridiculous. It's so good.
Dude, it is okay. So I I love Ratchet and Clank. I played all of them. I love the art style. I love the comedy, all that shit. But Leslie has that's her favorite shit. Her top three games of all time are Ratchet and Clank, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and fucking Jesus Christ, whatever. Anyways,
You don't care. You only love
um, no, but she loves Ratchet and Clank. So I was like, you play it, right? I'll watch you play it. I'll be the wife in this situation because she's just watching me play games, which is pretty bad. But dude, it's so good and it's well worth the $70 because apparently the replayability is even crazier. But I don't know. It was just hard to pull out $70 and pay for it.
Yeah. Well, is Psychonauts 2 going to be on Game Pass?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing? Okay.
Yes. Cristiano, can you look up Game Pass games for 2021? They have a list out, and it is pretty impressive. I mean, for something that we're all already paying for, pretty much, except for Bobby, which we have to send free passes to. They have a list. There's like an article that has everything all together. 2021 releases. While you find that, I'm going to talk about. Did you find it? Yeah.
I remember the third game, Crash Bandicoot. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, I'll be better prepared for this next week. I won't, but I'm saying I will. Can we go to Mecha Jammer, please? I know I asked for one thing and then another. I'll get you a raise. I'll talk to corporate. Mecha Jammer is a turn-based RPG that is in like this cyberpunk universe. It reminds me a lot of the I can't remember the game that it reminds me of, but it's this 2D pixel art in a 3D world. It has a really cool look to it. Apparently, you're kind of like crash landed on this crazy planet, and you're trying to get the resources back together to take off with you and your crew. What made this sound even cooler to me is as you're growing your crew, you can get to the point. It says in the description. I don't know how they're going to do this, but you can get to the point where you're doing like full-on raids on areas. So I don't know how many people that means, but if you can get your small band of RPG characters up to like 40, 50, I mean, that I don't know how you would manage that. Hopefully they have some way of doing it better. But right now it's so early that the only video they have of you is you riding around their motorcycle. So I hope they pull this off, but it sounds really great. Man, I really can't think of that turn-based RPG, Bobby, that's like
Shadowrun?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's got
Shadowrun.
kind of that cyberpunk feel to it.
It does have that cyberpunk feel to it. And then Hello Neighbor 2, which is this colorful horror game. Really cartoony Pixar kind of look to it, where it's almost like the Neighbor movie with Tom Hanks, Bobby, where like the creepy neighbor.
The Burbs?
The Burbs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People are disappearing. This guy's really creepy. He has all the, he locks his basement every night. Strange sounds are coming from his basement. You got to sneak into his house and try to uncover what's going on. But he's out. He's trying to thwart you at every corner. But what's interesting about this is apparently this is their gimmick. All the gamers and whatever routes they're taking is being absorbed by the live server AI, and the guy himself, the whatever his name is, Mr. Whatever, he's getting smarter as everybody plays. So if everybody goes in the back door, he's going to armor up the back door far more. Even though you're not playing together, it's almost like Spore or something like that, where it's like a pseudo multiplayer, where it's just metadata. Metadata is being uploaded, and the game is changing the way that the AI behaves,
So
which is
it's
really
adaptive.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one I never played. It's been out there for free a few times. I think I have it somewhere, but I've never played it. Heard good things about that game.
Can you name another game that does the same thing, Emilio, that you like? Where like the game kind of learns what you're doing and changes?
Besides Spore, I can't think of another one. Because in Spore,
I know one of them that jumps out at me, and that's Metal Gear Solid. Like if you do like missions and everything, like the more you do the missions and the way you kill people, they'll become more and more defensive about it. So like if you're just doing nothing but headshots, they'll all start wearing helmets. And then like if you're killing people with explosives and stuff, they'll have like a mine unit. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, but that's you as one person. This is the
Yeah.
community doing the same thing that what you just described.
Oh,
Yeah, interesting,
okay.
right?
That's dope.
If it
Yeah,
works,
that's really crazy.
if it works or doesn't work, we wouldn't know the difference. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's that guy's totally getting smarter. Like you wouldn't know, especially if you're not doing the most popular routes.
Yeah.
Nick, this is no slight to you, I promise. But can you talk about Chivalry 2 YP so I can listen to Bobby talk about it? It Takes Two.
You are a piece of shit. Yeah, no problem. I got you. So, Bobby, do you like bonking people in the head with huge sledgehammers?
Sure. I know Chivalry, dude. I played a lot of Chivalry.
So did you ever play Mordhau?
Yes.
Okay, did you like Mordhau?
Yeah, it was very similar to Chivalry. And before those games, I played a ton of War of the Roses, which I don't even know if that game is out there anymore. But yeah, kind of the same thing, the medieval combat where you can control your swings and armor up in
Yes.
different ways.
So because I'm going to be choosing the next game of the week because no one else has anything that stands out for them, it's going to be Chivalry. Because I only got to pay like an hour of this. But dude, so Chivalry 2, it has some amazing goods and some doo-doo bads. So like one thing about the amazing goods now in this game is more advanced moves are easier to pull off, but there's more things to do. So like, for example, in Mordhau, to do a deflecting blow where like you block and then you like kind of lunge forward is way harder to do because you have to do like exact frame timing for it. But in this game, it's a little easier. The way that weapons clash in this game is really cool too, because like any weapon like can clash with another like mid-air or mid-swing, and it makes a big difference in combat. Like the 32 versus 32 is great. The 20 versus 20 is great. The free-for-all is great, but you're noticing on the battlefield, it's not just a bunch of dudes running in and just beating the shit out of each other. Like everybody's kind of like picking someone to fight and then beating the shit out of each other. And then like it's always like a situation where you're trying to get like your homie with you to beat up someone maybe. But the game is just really smooth, man. Like I had one crash the whole time, and that's only because I was like playing 2 YouTube videos and I still had like Total War Warhammer playing in the background as well. Like, and that's the only crash I had, but it's a really pretty game. The maps are really good. The way the game modes work, it's like kind of like Overwatch, where there's a different objective every time you complete one. So like it'd be like burn down the cages, and you go burn down the cages, like siege the gate, and then it's like walk the wagons up the hill and all this kind of stuff, and it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. It's just the combat in this is so smooth. The only thing that sucks about this game that I can glaringly say is the fucking party system. Me and my friends, it's just me and 2 other guys. It took us 25 minutes just to get into one party. And when we did, and we started playing the game, we played for like 15 minutes. Huh?
25 minutes to get in a party with each other?
With each other.
Shit.
Dude, so apparently it's something that they're addressing because
I hope so.
Yeah, so apparently the cross-platform is the source of the issue, and they're thinking about turning that off for temporarily to fix it. But the way it's working is that we are okay. Okay, I'll use you and Bobby as an example. All right, so I log in
Please don't.
first, right? And you and Bobby log in. The only person that can invite everyone else is me because I logged in first. Now, there might be an issue with your authentication. You can still play the game, but you can't join a party, or it'll say you're offline. And so, dude, we had to reboot. We had to figure it out on our own because there was no official help on it yet. We had to force close the game multiple times, force close Epic multiple times, relaunch, rejoin, and we would get one person in the party, and the other person would be not being able to join, and it would be some people aren't able to see each other, and it just took so fucking long. But eventually, what we ended up doing? We just went to the server browser, and it's all numbers, the servers. It's NA East 2445311. All we did was just set the last four numbers and just join the same thing. They have a really cool mechanic is when you finish the tutorial, and doing the tutorial is actually really worth it in this one. It's at the end of the tutorial, you choose your team, what team you want to be on the allegiance of, whether it be the Masons or the Agathanians or whatever the fuck, Agathans. But when you join a game, you default join that team, if that makes sense. So if you and your friends choose the Masons, you guys are automatically put on the same team, even if you're not on the party.
So overall, recommend? Don't recommend?
It's the game of the week.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
we
the game of the
it
week
down.
for this game. Huh?
Well, for you, it's the game of the week.
I know. I'm saying that we're gonna talk about it, and this is gonna be the new game of the week, like we did Helltaker and
What?
Titan Souls.
You're making us spend $80, dude?
I will front you the shekels.
How much is this game?
$40.
$40.
I don't know, man. How much time did I spend playing Mordhau? Not a whole lot. That game was just fun. I mean, it was good.
Yeah,
but it's
Mordhau
just
was good. And
Yeah.
then I
This
played it
this
for
is
2 nights.
way better than Mordhau.
Way better, dude. You don't understand. It's like
way better. Morehouse an 8.
Warhammer
This is a 10.
level good.
This is drug dealer Bobby compared to now Bobby. This is the difference. Okay, we have fun Bobby, and now we have robot Bobby. Big
I don't know, man. I still feel like I'm
I'll
gonna
play with
play.
you, Nick.
I'm gonna play an hour of this game and be like,
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
and then never
I
touch
will.
it.
If you do not like it, I will pay you guys for the game.
I wish you would pay to get rid of that Jufra that you have, dude. That's what
Dude,
I wish you would
it's
pay
out of
for.
regs right now, and I do got to get it cut tomorrow.
Your hair is
so.
out of control, man. It's out of control.
Leslie threatened me with divorce yesterday because I parted my hair down the middle. And if you've ever seen a fro
I've
parted,
seen that. Yeah. I've seen what that monstrosity looks like.
Yeah. It looks great. What are you talking about?
Bobby, why hasn't there been a reboot of The Blob, dude?
Oh, there was in the 80s.
That was the
Reboot
reboot? I thought that was the original.
No, the original one's from like the 50s.
Oh.
Something. Yeah.
There needs to be another one.
Yeah, we're about due for another Blob movie.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we are.
It's just it's a blob though. How
Yeah.
exciting is that? It's just a big pile of goo. All
Wait,
right.
did we decide if we were going to talk about
Cristiano's so confused. Yeah, it's a big blob, dude. It's like a big pile of slime that eats people, dude.
Yeah.
And by the way, when it lands, it's clear. It only turns red when it has the blood of its victims coursing through
Okay.
its blobbiness.
Doesn't look good.
Oh, that's definitely not good. But I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
with today's standards, like CGI,
Mhm.
pull this off.
Yeah. All right. I finally played It Takes Two. I played it with my girlfriend.
Did you finish it?
No. Oh no. Did we?
The way he said he couldn't even. Bobby can always talk. He couldn't talk for 10 seconds. He's like, like, no, dude, no.
No.
We had a hard time with this, I think.
I think maybe later in the second level is about where we're at. Vacuum cleaner. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
toolbox.
Yeah.
First level is vacuum cleaner. Second one is toolbox, I believe.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, no, correct. And then it's bugs.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think we're very late in the second level.
Okay.
Yeah, it's proven pretty difficult for my girlfriend because she's just not used to using a controller.
Is she into it other than that?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of the story hasn't really played out. So the whole idea behind this is I really wanted to test out the media center that we recently rebuilt at her house. We use it for just playing videos and stuff. But the old one that she had was just not cutting it. Even like we'd load up Disney Plus and be like ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Right.
So we got an AMD 3200G, which was really hard to find, man. I had to look on OfferUp for months until I found one that I could get for a good price. But it handled the game beautifully. As soon as I started turning up some of the graphical settings, and there were a few little stuttering issues here and there, but just leaving it on the default settings, it handled it just fine. So I was happy about that. 1080p gaming. And yeah, it's a good game, and I haven't gotten far enough into it to really properly critique it, but I think it's been hyped up so much that when I finally sat down to play it, I wasn't all that impressed. But I am only 2 levels into it, right? Haven't really got to the good parts with the storyline. You know, they have that big part up front with the parents. They have this argument. Then they get turned into dolls. You get introduced to the book. So I don't know. I could see like it could get really good, but so far not quite doing it for me just yet. The puzzles I do think are good. They haven't gotten very challenging, and there are a lot of having to control, like precisely fine-tune things. So the way that they work with the co-op mode is really interesting. Whenever we run into a puzzle, I'm always trying to figure out, first of all, what's the hard part? Is it aiming the hose, the vacuum hose, like where it goes, or is it trying to fly through the vacuum hose and landing in the right spot? And then whatever's the hardest, I'll handle that, right? So I do kind of like that. If you are playing with someone who's not as used to video games, then you can kind of help them. But there are
points.
Yeah,
dude.
there are puzzles where both people have to do the same thing, and that's.
When you get to the point where one person throws the honey and the other one explodes it, I think, in my experience, that was the most like skill based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's not for a while, so maybe it'll warm up.
Well, the spinning discs were a huge problem.
Spinning
It's a platformer. And there's discs that are spinning, and you need to jump on them, and it's really hard because you have to control the camera to look where you want to jump. And you constantly have to adjust it because the disc that you're standing on is spinning. So yeah, that was a huge issue.
Have you done the part where she's a hammer and you're the nail thrower?
No.
Oh,
not
yeah.
yet.
Sam had a really hard time hooking the hammer because she's the only one who can. And eventually, I whatever it was, I had to take the controller over and see what it was where she was failing, and then be like, I think this is what you need to do. And then once she understood that, she got it.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because the whole thing
but here's
about
the thing, dude. Yeah, the thing is you're working together. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to be working together and working through problems, and that is the theme of the story, this couple trying to work through their problems.
Or mansplaining.
Complete opposite of, or mansplaining. But had kind of the opposite effect, really. It was a very stressful experience for us.
Oh, that's too bad, dude.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for you. Like, maybe it was just stressful for you, and she was just...
Oh, no. There was...
Are you going to continue?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll stick to Stardew Valley.
Oh, man.
So for me and Leslie, the beginning was actually really stressful as well. But after about the 4th level, we got into a pretty good groove. Mm-hmm. Did you check if auto aim is on, Bobby?
No, I didn't. Is that a default setting? Because I didn't really change the default settings.
I would double check. The reason being is that I believe it's not on by default. So it would check because it actually
does it help
for example,
that much?
when you're the nail guy, it'll automatically hit where you need to hit if you get within like 3 inches or 4 inches of it.
Okay.
Mine was auto on, which was fine.
I played on PS5, so I don't know if it's the same thing for PC.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
What did you think of the book, Bobby? Was
Oh yeah, what did you think of the best character?
What did you think of him, and how much did he remind you of me?
see, that's the thing. You guys have hyped him up so much that when I finally met him, I was just like, yeah, it's not that great.
You have a
Like,
guy, yeah.
You, Bobby.
maybe he hasn't had
This
the
is why
best
nobody
lines
loves
yet.
you.
I don't know, man.
I think this is where Cristiano is too, right? Because like,
Well, he's further than me.
yeah, and he's not getting enough story as well, right?
Yeah, when Nick said that his time to cry was so early, I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be like pretty heart wrenching.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, two fucking assholes argue. Like I don't see it.
Yeah, I
yet.
was really expecting like movie quality storytelling here.
Oh, yeah,
and I don't think it's, but I'm only 2 levels in. I know you guys are further, but I don't really see it happening here. I just thought it'd be crazy if I wrote a review. It'd probably give me a few like, you know how you can reward people for the reviews. It'd be great like bait for that if I just said played with my wife, now we're divorced or something.
But what I think what really needs to be focused on, and we've touched on it, we've danced around it, and it's hard to say the way it actually is or what they were trying to go for. You're working on it's a collaboration, but not just within the game. There's collaboration going on without the game. You have to make time to play with each other. You need to help each other understand how the game works. You need to, well, those two is tremendous amount of collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it to you this way, Bobby. It was frustrating for both of you guys. If you found a way, or she found a way, or you together found a way to work through this and actually get through the entire game, would your relationship be a tiny bit better? I believe so.
I don't know. All the ugliness that would be involved, required to get to that point, would probably not be worth it. I don't think it's possible.
I disagree, dude. I disagree. The strongest bonds are forged in fire. Absolutely. That's why like soldiers are so crazy about each other, because they've gone through the shit together. This is what
I'm
we
going
have
to
to
agree
do.
with Emilio.
Now we need a video game to get us.
Oh my god. No, didn't you guys
Tell me I'm wrong, Bobby.
Keanu Reeves will tell you
Fisticuffs.
that you're wrong, because traumatic relationships based
Not traumatic.
relationships based on traumatic experiences do not last, as we know from Speed, right? The end of Speed. And yet they get together anyways, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. But yeah, here's the thing though. I don't think it's actually going to be possible to get to the end. I mean, if we're at level 2, and I'm talking hours, maybe like 3 hours, and we're not even done with the second level. Does that?
Yeah.
I don't know how that really adds up to where you guys would be at that point.
We
But it
really
just takes
need to figure out a
Would she
game.
be better with the mouse and keyboard?
Probably
No.
not. It's just, it's difficult doing this stuff when you've never done it before.
You're saying old dogs can't learn new tricks, dude.
Well, there's really.
She's obviously intelligent. You wouldn't be dating her if she wasn't intelligent.
Well, yeah,
I
but
don't
really,
think
what's
Molly
the
would be dating some
incentive?
person.
Like if
Doing
someone,
something that you both enjoy.
Yeah, but then she's.
How many times has she taken you to something you didn't enjoy, but you know?
Yeah, but this
you
is like
wanted
learning a new skill. If I was like, it'd be really cool if you learned the piano, like,
It would be.
Yeah, but
And then
that's
you guys walk up to the one in the mall that piano, and you guys do a duet.
do they still
like,
have pianos? in
she's on the
malls?
high notes, you're on the low notes, and suddenly fucking people are videoing. And I see you on YouTube, dude. And DL gave me.
My girlfriend is your age, dude. Are you learning any new tricks?
Yeah, dude. I just learned the other day how to
Yes, they made.
the ultimate finger blast the other day.
The
So I'm super happy.
The ultimate finger blast. Okay.
I don't know what that means. I'm too young for that.
You're such a fuck, dude.
Oh god.
Yikes.
All right.
Okay,
moving on.
Yak here.
Shut,
I like
shut
this.
it all down, Emilio. Shut it all down.
At the production, we're good.
All right. This guy's got a review close to what I would have put. He said, kind of wish getting a divorce was an option. Wouldn't that be great at the beginning of the game? It's like, no, we're just going to get divorced. But yeah, I don't know. I still
kinda
think it's a great game.
that too.
Yeah, I know somebody that didn't get a divorce because it's too expensive, and they're still together now.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Well,
Okay, cool. But at the beginning of this game, I was kind of off put. I was like, if their relationship is bad and they're fighting all the time and they can't get through it, maybe they should just divorce. Like, I feel like I'm
sometimes
not so
divorce
much
is
like,
the
it should
answer.
be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you continue to play it, Christiana?
Yeah, we're continuing to play it.
Okay. Is it getting better?
It's getting more fun, but the story still isn't there. But just the mechanics are fun.
Yeah, the mechanics are fun.
Well, I really feel like this guy who made this game, Joseph Ferris, I think it is. This is really, you've seen the evolution of his games. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was really good. Everyone liked that. Then there was A Way Out, and that one was pretty good. And this one is just, I feel like he's really honing in on his work.
Yeah, each one is better than the last for sure. Oh, Nick, if you guys, you guys already finished this. You and Leslie should play A Way Out together for sure. For sure.
Yeah, no, we need another duo game when she's done with Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll definitely play it.
That's his other game, the one right before this. In ways better than this one, just thematically. But anyway, where are we at? Listener questions?
Well, we haven't talked about the game of the week or games
that's
of
right.
the week.
Yeah, we had 2 awesome games of the week.
There was some. I fucked up. I didn't have anything ready, and then within a couple hours, I had them. And Bobby did not play one of them, but whatever. We'll get through this. Helltaker. What I did was, I went to Steam. I said highest rated games that came out last year, and like in the top 10 was a free game, and I was like, oh, let me try this out. The game is called Helltaker. It's a guy that looks a lot like the guy from Living Dead, or what is
Evil Dead?
Evil Dead. Looks a lot like him, but it's a puzzle game. It's a lot of pushing rocks around and trying to get to a girl at the end of the level. And what you're trying to do is extract these succubuses, I guess, or like demon women, and add them to your harem. That's the whole goal. It sounds ridiculous because it is. And it's very short. You could probably beat this game in an hour. Most people are going to be between an hour, 2 hours. And I guess a lot of the story is, once you unlock them, the next level, the one that you previously unlocked will talk to you and unveil a little bit of their personality. But there's not much there, really. This is, even though it looks good, it doesn't look like a free game. It looks better than a free game for sure. I had a good time with it. Where were you guys at on it?
I thought it was pretty good as far as a puzzle game goes. So they give you a set amount of moves that you can use, and there's a lot of trial and error. You'll fail a lot
of trial and error.
Yeah, and then you'll get close. You'll be like one move off, and then you'll die, and then you'll say, okay, well, I'm on the right track. But then when you reach the girl at the end, she asks you a question, and there's 2 responses. And if you pick the wrong one, then you have to redo the whole level, which I thought was really strange. There's really no way to figure out what the correct answer is. They're all pretty off the
arbitrary.
wall. Yeah, they're all very arbitrary, off the wall questions. And the response, again, when I ran into this in another game, God, I can't remember what it was, but it was the same thing. Like, I would get asked a question and there was no obvious answer. And usually it kind of seemed like the obvious or the right answer tended to be the more weird one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just seemed really weird that was put in there. I guess it's a way to add a little story. But what essentially happens with the gameplay loop is you solve the puzzle and then you have like a 50-50 shot of actually passing the level. You basically flip a coin. And if you lose, then you have to redo. Hopefully you remember the pattern and you get through the level again. And then
if
you
I
pick
may,
the other option.
Bobby, and this is me defending the developer. I think if there's some sort of like gameplay reason for that, I would say like, did this person get lucky or did they actually figure this out?
Yeah,
because,
I would say that's probably what it is.
Yeah, because some people just get lucky, and then if you make them do it again, they didn't actually figure it out. You know what I mean? And they can't do it. That means they didn't figure it out. I would say the majority of the time, I didn't nail it the second time immediately.
Yeah, well, it can be difficult because there are a lot of moves involved in getting to this, especially as the levels go on.
We're talking about like 33 moves,
Yeah.
45 moves.
But it does seem kind of strange. I don't know.
It
'cause
was
you don't-
strange.
You
It
don't
was
see that
strange.
in any other puzzle game. You don't finish the puzzle and then it says,
Do
"All
it
right,
again.
do it again, the whole thing over." And
Yeah.
usually repeating gameplay is kind of frowned upon these days.
I think this game is kind of like an homage to dating sims. I don't know if you've ever played them when you were young and you had nothing to do and couldn't afford your own computer games. But you're trying to choose you're trying to take reference of what the person is saying, and if you have any background knowledge about Cerberus, for example, or whatever, it's all trial and error. And that's actually one thing I really liked about the game. Not it was dating simish, but you had to possibly think about it. But like you said, replaying gameplay does not always mean a good thing, and it's really frowned upon nowadays. But I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean
Where are-
it's a decent puzzle game. The puzzles, even from the get-go, they aren't super easy. They require you to figure things out because it comes down to there's one way to solve each of these puzzles, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think there's multiple solutions. So you really
No.
got to crack the code and figure out exactly what you need to do, and there's one solution that you need to come to. But yeah, I just thought that last little part was a little unnecessary.
How far did you make it so far?
Well, here's the thing too. So I played through a bunch of this game and then I said, okay, I'll pick this up later. I exited out of the game. And then when I loaded back in, there was a chapter select option and a new game option, but there was not a continue option, pick up where you left off. So
Yeah.
I had to kind of guess where I was at until I found the right puzzle. I think I was close to the end. There's only 10 puzzles?
There's 10 puzzles.
And then there's a bonus one.
Well, it's 9 puzzles plus a boss fight,
A boss
which is
fight.
not a puzzle.
Okay. Yeah, I was on 7 or 8.
Okay, yeah. There's a joke one that you'll get to. 9 is the joke one, and then 10 is the boss fight. If you are an 8, then you're pretty much at the end of the game. But it's pretty good. For being free.
You can't complain
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
The boss fight, it's weird that you go from puzzle game to this Twitch reaction. I guess fast-paced puzzle is what it is. You got to, but I didn't expect that at all. It was very strange.
I saw it coming.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was like, dude, there's no way that this game is just nothing but shuffling, and I was like, there's no way, and I'm like, there's gonna be a boss fight or there's gonna be combat or something. It's not just about kicking skeletons.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the 10th puzzle. Had to look it up on YouTube.
Yes, the 10th puzzle. It's not a puzzle. It's the boss fight.
No,
Okay,
not that
I've
one.
done,
The
I've done
one.
5.
Go ahead.
I've done 5 seconds of research. Solo dev. It looks like he does all this art, and he's really famous for comic of the people in the game.
Yeah, the art's great.
Yeah. I don't think the focus is on the game. Maybe it's just a way to showcase these characters he's created.
But the game's not bad, I guess is what we're here to say today.
Well, the reviews on Steam are really, really high.
Yeah, that's why I selected it. But it could be just as fans coming out to support him.
I honestly think it was a great game. For free, that is a banger.
Music was great. There's one song, and the whole time I was
it's great.
I'm tapping my foot the entire time. I was so into the song. Their business model is very interesting. So the game's free, and then you can just pay $9 for the art book and the soundtrack, I believe. So it's here's the game, but if you really want to support the artist, here's $9. So I thought it was really cool. But once I decided that this was going to be the game of the week, and then I went to How Long to Beat. It said 1 hour. I said that's not enough content for us to talk about, although it did pretty well, even though I went to pee in the middle of it. And then Jen's longtime listener, maybe one of our longest, he linked that Titan Souls was free this week because of Devolver Digital's thing that they're doing this week. That's what they're doing to draw attention. This is one of their first games, very, very early on. And this was the game that I was talking about that was a lot like Shadow of the Colossus, the PC version. It's top down, but from what I remember from the commercials or whatever, the hype about it is that it was bosses only. So that's what it is. It's a top-down game. You don't get stronger. There's no progression. You have an arrow and a string that you can't see to pull that arrow back. And most bosses, and I've never really seen this before, you can kill in one hit. They kill you in one hit, you kill it in one hit. So its weak point is very hard to get to in general. And yeah, that's the game. You're going through these bosses and one after another and trying to find the others. And that's where the game really fell apart for me. I really had a hard time with the exploration part of this game. I didn't enjoy it at all. I thought that maybe the creators thought that the world they had created was so beautiful they want us to walk through it. I don't think it's that pretty. The music was okay. You have to find secret areas. I didn't like that part of the game at all. I would, if it was boss after boss after boss, I would have played this game until I beat it. But because every time you hit die, you have to walk back to the boss that you just kicked your ass. Oh my gosh, it was torturous, dude. Once I got to the level where it's like one of those old Nintendo mazes where it's not a real maze, but if you go up instead of left, you start over in the maze. When I got to that point, and already I'm sick of the exploration part of this game, I was like, I'm done. And that was my uninstall point. I enjoyed the boss fight part of it a lot, but not enough to put up with the exploration part of it, unfortunately.
I played this game when it came out. Got 2015. I remember not liking it. I found it a little too difficult. And I wasn't quite clear what I was supposed to be doing at parts of the game. It's been a long time, though. It would probably be worth revisiting. But
it's tough, man. It's like a 71%. So and that's probably why. I mean, the boss fights are awesome, but it gets tedious. What do you think, Nick?
Dude, I agree with both of you. The game is difficult, and as someone who loves hard games, there are definitely I don't take I definitely get down on myself on looking how to do certain things right. I didn't look up any of the first 4 bosses.
Oh, the one you have to hit him in the back. You have to look it up.
No, the one that I had to look up was the thunder snake, the one that's in the water. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way you have to get the timing as his tail is about to go back in the water, and that was the last one I played and I fought. But god damn, dude, the walking in this game is just so annoying. And the thing is, you can't roll upstairs, so you can't just roll spam to where you're going. And it's I get it. You build a pretty pixel world. You don't have any talking. You don't have any text. You don't have any storytelling. Just make it a Mega Man fucking select screen. Let me fight Giant Rock Man. Let me fight Ice Cube with Brain.
Absolutely.
And even if that's the case where you're you just press let me fight Ice Cube with Brain, and then you just see your character walk over there and go in it, as long as it's not 15 fucking minutes to get there, I'm perfectly fine with that. I was hoping after I beat the first 4 bosses, because it's the little intro zone, I was like, I hope the next 4 bosses are like this too.
Yeah.
And I'm and as soon as I got to the forest, I was like, oh hell no. I had to run to a fucking boss. I was like, fuck this, dude. This is gonna take so goddamn long. It should have just been a Mega Man choice screen.
Did you, Nick? Did you fight the face that rotates and you have to shoot him in the back?
Yes.
I'm embarrassed how long that took me to figure out that you have to retrieve your arrow into his back, dude. It took 40 tries. 40 tries.
Boxes?
What?
You know the box that rolls in the first 4 first 4 bosses? I killed him with an arrow retrieval.
Oh.
Yeah. You know the boss with the stone boss in the first 4 bosses?
I killed him so easy, dude. I killed him in the first second, probably like that.
Did you?
Yeah.
It took me 20 tries. I don't know why it was so hard for me.
It was weird. Yeah, it's it's so strange because they're the way that they wrote bosses is so unique. I wish they would just focus on that. We need a Snyder cut, Bobby, of this.
Exactly.
Like just bosses, like or whatever. Like cut out all the bullshit.
Well, that's not what happened with the Snyder cut.
Okay, the
more
opposite.
bullshit was put in.
You tripled the duration.
We need an intern's cut. There we go. An intern's cut of just the juicy parts.
Show me the budget cut version.
Yeah, absolutely. Take out all the open world shit. We don't need it. It's all about. It's so beautiful. It kills you in one hit. You kill it in one hit. It's a samurai duel, and somehow they inflated it with all this fucking forest and fucking waterfalls and hidden areas. So it can go fuck off. I'm sorry, I didn't enjoy the game. I was so frustrated. Actually,
I'm split between the game, like loving it and hating it. I'm pretty like. I have like a suggest or non-suggest. This is unfortunately a non-suggest. The bosses are great, but goddamn is the running annoying, man.
Yeah. You can run, right, Nick? After you roll, you can roll down the button.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You know what?
Which is still slow as fuck.
An amazing mod would be just a boss select screen. Like,
yeah.
that's all you hit. Like to make this game a fucking 90 or an 85.
Yeah.
Just put a boss select screen.
100%, dude. I was thinking about has anybody modded this game? That's what I was thinking the whole time. I didn't look it up, but I was wondering it, and that's what's important.
Yeah, but no, so both these games I played when I was like, I got 30 minutes, I got an hour. I played the Helltaker. I played that today. I beat it in 36 minutes. It's so good. That one definitely wins a suggest.
Yeah,
compared
for sure.
to this one.
Yeah, I would say Helltaker way over this. And,
Yeah,
but it does suck because when you are fighting the bosses, it is fun.
You're having fun.
If it would just start over immediately, like what are some of these like a lot of games, Binding of Isaac or Hotline Miami. As soon as you die, the next pixel is you moving your new character. If it's just started over just like fuck, then it would be great.
You know what it should have fucking had? The same thing that Hellraiser has or Helltaker. You just literally spawn at the beginning of the level.
Immediately, yeah.
You should just spawn right in the fucking boss arena. There are some bosses you can cheese real easy, but this is the first game of the week that is a non-suggest.
What makes it frustrating, dude, is that there's a fantastic game in it. You just have to cut off all the fucking fat. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, the developer's new game where you play as a crow, does that interest you? Like maybe,
we talked about it last week.
What? Yeah. So are you going to play this one now that you know the history? Like, oh, we tried this thing before. Now maybe he's learned. Now he's going to give us more what we want, or
maybe. I think if I'm choosing game of the week, it's going to be a game that we can actually play together, kind of like we did with Core. Even though it's just me, Diddy, Emilio, but I want to play games with Bobby, so I want it to be a multiplayer game. So we'll definitely see what's out there. I don't want to make everybody pay $40, but like I said, if you guys don't like it, I'll pay for it. But
if you want to play a game with Bobby, turn the game into a movie. Make it have really bad reviews and 6 versions of it, and then he'll play all 6 versions of it with you.
Let's just watch Jason X together. We were supposed to play Dead Space 3, but
I got it installed. It's ready.
I got it installed too, dude. Let's fucking play.
All right. Well, we should get to listener questions here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a few of those. First one's coming from the Livingston. What game is your dad better than you at?
Running through these hoes like Drano. Like he was a rambling man. He got around. He did got a lot of ladies pregnant. Had a lot of kids with a lot of people.
Yep.
So
I remember that one.
Yeah.
My dad is better than me at poker. Video games definitely not, but because he's only ever played like one, and then I made him play it when I was like 10. But other than that, he's really good at being a better dad than me. I don't know. But it's
with these answers.
Poker. That's the game he's better than me.
Okay. Well, that's a game worth being good at.
Too bad you say that, but he went to the casino and lost like $700, and then my mom had to win it all back.
You guys have shitty. Sounds like you guys have shitty dads. I mean, that's what I'm taking.
No, my dad's amazing, man.
I mean,
Well, see, I don't know. People always say like I'm good at poker, I'm good at gambling, but I feel like everybody who is good at gambling has lost way more than they've ever won. They got good by playing a whole lot and losing a lot of money. I don't know. I just feel like they're always in the red.
I mean, the top poker players, that's their living, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah.
I would say
But
that the top 10,000 poker players make a living. You know, it's not like just 500 people are doing it. I would say a huge number of people.
Shout out to Warconius. I appreciate you. He says Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the Diddy, everybody else. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, but my dad is really good at backgammon, and he's always trying to sucker people into playing that with him, but we all know better now. And then when he found out you could play backgammon on the internet with strangers, he was very excited, but he couldn't understand why people would just up and leave the game when they started losing.
Yeah.
He's not, I don't know. This is a long time ago, but he just wasn't familiar with like internet culture and just like
rage quitting.
Yeah. The idea of rage quitting.
easy.
Yeah. Bobby, I feel like if you would invest 4 nights into the theory of backgammon, I feel like you could like give him a run for his money, and
Probably. There's a
it
lot
would
of
change your
resources out
entire
there.
relationship with him.
Yeah, maybe.
Like your share in the will would grow.
All right.
Bobby,
Next
do you
question.
have siblings?
Siblings? Yeah, I've got 3.
Never met any of them, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they all other robots, or they actually have personalities?
He treats
do
me
they-
like a skeleton outside the closet, dude. That's
See,
how
I
he
think
treats
the
me.
robot comes from my dad. So my sister is a lot like me, but then my older brother and sister, who are my half sisters, are not.
I'll always say this, dude. This is my one example of like taking after your parents or not. If you watch like Hulk Hogan's fucking reality show, it's so trippy that his daughter got his genetics. She's like,
Oh yeah,
she's 6'2",
Mhm.
meaty.
super square jaw.
Yeah, square jaw, and not that she's ugly. Like she's like
Nah.
relatively attractive, but and then his son got his mom's genetics, like petite, slight. It's just so weird that the girl got, you would want those the other way around. Ideally, I guess, maybe. I'm sure that's the way they would look at it.
All right, next question from Zap. Who is your video game daddy and what does he do?
Ooh. Cristiano is my video game daddy. And he looks up things when I need him to because I can't spell or type.
But he's not in a video game.
Oh, in a game.
That's what I understood the question as.
Well, no, it has to do with.
Yeah, I thought it was a video game character who would be your dad.
Yeah.
Who you would like to be your dad.
Oh, no. Whatever. You guys interpret it the way you want. Cristiano stays with me.
Bobby, you first. I actually have to think about this one. This is a good question.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Father figures in video games. Oh, I don't know. The dad from Link to the Past. He was kind of fatherly. He's the one at the beginning of the game. I can't.
What's the octopus game where you?
Oh, Octodad.
Octodad.
Deadliest catch.
Dad.
That's a great.
Nick, have
Father's
you
Day
played
game.
that with Leslie?
I played Octodad without Leslie.
Uh-huh.
I actually played Octodad like ages ago, like when it was like back in beta, and like there's only two levels.
It was in beta for the longest time.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say.
I think my video game dad's gonna be Big Boss, and there's just clones of me everywhere else, and we're all just clones of him.
I thought you were going to say that you played Octodad, and that's how you have a baby now.
Oh man, all my friends call me a lizard because my ashy elbows. So it would have to more like a lizard creature instead of an octopus, unfortunately.
Dude, lotion can save that, dude. You don't have to go through your
I've
life.
tried so many things.
There's worse things you can have. Bobby,
Oh
you
yeah,
have
like
an answer? Does anybody know what he's talking about when he said Big Boss? That's a Metal Gear Solid thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Isn't Big Boss the main? Oh no, he's the guy that always talks to you on the radio, right?
Nah, Big Boss
No,
is...
that's the Colonel. That's
no.
Major.
Yeah.
Big Boss is the guy that
They
was
took his
like the
DNA
legendary super soldier that they cloned because they wanted to make more of them.
All right.
to make all these snake versions.
Sorry, I asked.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some mad people in our Discord. There's a lot of Metal Gear Solid fans in our Discord.
Oh, I know.
We are Legion.
Okay. Next
There are
question
dozens of us.
from Orconius. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
What? My dad is dead. He was an electrical engineer, and he fucked a lot of women.
I'm reminded of a moment in the early days of our podcast. So early, in fact, Albert was
Oh,
the guy who
our
would,
Christiana?
yeah, well, sort of. We had a much worse setup. This is before Discord. So we had a guy who would help us out with some stuff named Albert, and he would pull stuff up as we'd be talking and put things on the screen. And I had mentioned for some reason or other during this episode that my dad was a postal worker, and he thought that was the funniest thing in the world. He couldn't stop laughing for some reason.
That's a very solid American job, man. For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a friend, mind you, he does the same thing I do, right? Which can get you paid 6 digits in the civilian world. Hated his life so much doing the job he does that he just decided to become a mailman in his small Ohio town and just loves his life now.
Yeah, man.
Great calves if you're a mailman.
Yeah, it is just, it really is whatever makes you happy, in my opinion.
Dude, I think about it a lot. And I feel that I'm biased in everything that I do. I'm like, whatever I'm doing, this is the best thing that's possible. But I really do. Like construction, we're outside. We do physical labor, which burns stress. I have zero stress in my life. I'm making a great living. It's like I get dirty every day. That's the downside. But besides that, it's like I break shit, which is stress relieving.
I break shit.
I get in giant machines and move giant versions of or things. I don't know. I think it's great. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
If I wasn't fucking broken, I'd probably like doing it.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
My dad is retired now. He's a professional dog dad. He has his little chihuahua. I mean, not chihuahua, his little poodle. He was a gardener for over 30 years for the same, what is it called? Hospital. Funny, haha, Mexican guy, gardener. But
You said a Mexican gardener?
huh?
There's a Mexican gardener out there? No way.
No way. You mean you tell? Nah, man. They're all cooks. They're all making Asian food. That's the joke that my dad would say. He's like, go to a Chinese food restaurant. All you see is Mexican cooks. Who would have known that Mexicans
It's
were
not a
the
joke.
best
It's
ones at Chinese
100%
food?
true. If you're in California, it doesn't matter what ethnic food you go in the it's Mexican food. Mexicans making the ethnic food in general, unless it's super
In
specific,
general.
like a Ethiopian or something like that.
Well, a lot of restaurants, like they'll have like a main chef or something who creates the menu, right?
Right,
and then
right,
he
right.
teaches everybody
Yeah.
the recipe, so you could really teach it. To
Yeah,
anything.
Bobby. I wasn't saying that they were the creators of the menu.
Yeah.
They're doing the hard labor, Bobby.
They're not making the next tandoori chicken,
Yeah.
in South Central East LA. Oh man.
All right,
But
next-
no,
Oh, go ahead.
but yeah, no, that's my dad. He was a gardener and a good dad.
Let me talk.
is.
Let me talk a little bit about your dad. He used to be really angry. All of the
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
yeah, he had a temper, and most of the Borjans, I mean his brothers, they're just short fused people. And
Not me though.
No, not you at all. You're a lot more like me, way more even
mean,
killed.
I think with me is I got someone's fucking patience in my family. I don't know who it is. But the problem is like when I do get mad, bad things happen. But you ask Leslie, we've been married for over over 4 years now, and she's like, I've only ever seen you legitimately mad like once. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, super rare, super rare. But he used to fucking because I was a little shit and I deserved it. But man, was he a mean guy. And now, nicest guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
All it took was 30 years.
Well, kids
30
are
years.
really annoying.
Yeah.
In their defense, dude. Like we all think like, oh man, parents used to be so mean, and then now they're not. It's like, well, yeah, dude, you grew up, you're not a little shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was a bit of a handful too. I almost got the chunkla from my buddy's grandmother once, which I didn't even know was a thing until someone explained that to me later. I'm like an honorary Mexican now. But I was at a friend's house and we were doing something, who knows. And his grandmother got super pissed. And all I remember, this is like, I was so young, but this is like burned into my memory now because it was so traumatic. I remember his grandmother coming at me with her slipper and the mom holding her back. Like saying, no, you can't do that. You know?
He's white.
White!
He's
Don't hit him!
He has an aura of the whiteness. You cannot
Yeah.
implement.
But whatever we were doing, we probably had it coming because with this same friend, another thing that we did when his mom left us home alone, not a good idea, by the way. He said to me, he turns to me and he says, hey, did you know if you call 911, the cops show up at your place? I said, well, we got a call. And we got the phone, 911. My buddy's on the phone. And he says, hello, police. There's a robber in the house.
Oh, dude.
And all these squad cars roll up. And we're just staring out the window like, cool. And his mom comes in and she's so pissed. Oh, my God. And we're just like, what? Like, what's the problem?
Dude, I love that the threat of chancla was enough to scar you forever. Meanwhile, we've been Devil May Cry comboed with chanclas all the way up. Like
I got juggled by my mom.
yeah, we got juggled. There's a chancla uppercut into the whack where you're rolling in a circle down, and then the body slam. It's like some Lucha Libre, what's that game called?
There's like an ear pull into a wall slam to a head.
Yeah,
his
I don't
mom.
think parents do that anymore. Like spanking. I don't think that's really done these days. But I really don't have any idea.
Oh yeah.
No, there's some ethnic parents that like I know now that like I have friends that I play video games with, and like people now still hit their kids. It's not as like talked about as openly, but like when you get older and like from now, like, you know, when you're young, you're like, I got the shit kicked out of me. But now when I'm older, I'm like, dude, I deserve that shit so bad.
Yeah.
Bobby, here's a, you want to know how much of a tyrant I was as a child? Nobody wanted to babysit me out of 14 aunts and uncles. Okay. I would get so mad at 5 years old, Bobby. I would get my fingers, put them in the wall, and rip out lights and light sockets. You know where you flip the switch for your lights? I would somehow get my fingers behind them and rip them out of the wall, Bobby.
Yeah, he was a fucking shit. He's
my
a
mom
big
and dad
shit.
legitimately didn't go out to eat to restaurants for over 7 years.
I don't know. See, I was
like,
difficult, but I feel like I was difficult in a different way than you guys. You guys were.
Mexican
I don't know.
difficult.
My uncle started calling me Bam Bam after a while, and I had that nickname as a kid because I would roll around the house and just crash into things. So I don't know. Maybe I was destructive, but I had kind of a mouth too. Like I remember one time my mom just straight up slapped me right across the face, many times actually. But I would say things like I would have these like fucking clap backs, dude, like really good material, but like totally
wrong audience.
Yeah. Just like I'd have like the meanest comebacks and shit that I would say to my mom, which I could never. My mom is the nicest person in the world. I could never imagine like saying anything like that to her now, obviously. But and one time when I was at first or second grade, and this is me just kind of being stupid and not aware of social norms. But I figured out, like, I'd raise my hand and the teacher wouldn't, like, see me or like, attend to me. And I'm like, okay, I got to keep my hand up forever. This is really annoying. And then one day I figured out if I just raised my hand, I started snapping, It got her attention right away. And she'd come over. And the first time she was like a little pissed, and I could kind of tell. I was like, okay. And I remember telling my friend, yeah, dude, it's just way quicker, dude. Just snap like this, and like she'll see you right away.
I hate you
So then the
much,
second
dude.
time I do that, and she comes over and she's stomping over, and she gets right in my face and tells me exactly why that's not appropriate. So, yeah.
I have to reassess my entire thought about you. Like, I don't know where to begin.
Well, this is second grade, so don't be too harsh on me. I totally remember that incident. It was in the computer lab. We were on the Apple IIs. Oh, man. Good times.
If you want to hear some shit, we need to do not a not safe for work podcast, but like maybe the next one is like just talking about family life and growing up and shit. Because this is some.
His mom's the worst.
shit.
Out of all my sisters, she will grab your ear and twist it as hard as she can. It brings you down to your knees. You start crying immediately, or she'll grab you by the sideburn, dude, and pull on that shit. Do you know how
Sideburns? How old are you guys?
You're sideburn.
We're Mexicans? We're born with them, dude. Like
Bobby,
dude, pull a little bit on your sideburn right
shit
now.
that would haunt you in your
Pull a little
sleep.
bit on
I
it.
just shaved today, so it's very short. I don't think I can grab it.
Go a little higher, above your ear, right there. Pull on that right a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
you
not
see how
comfortable.
sensitive? Yeah, it's not comfortable.
Bobby, we would.
She was
my
the
mom-
Zangief of saying it. Sideburn manipulation, dude.
Oh, wow. Put the sideburns in a suplex.
My mom, Bobby, we would be in church and she would grab me by, like, I'd be like dicking around, like hitting the pew or kicking it in front of me or something, right? Or just not sitting still because apparently that was a problem with me. And she's like, she would pull me by the ear and she'd be like, I'll make your motherfucking mouth bleed, boy. And now I just like instantly freeze up. Like she would say crazy shit like that. We'd be at home. She's like, I will put your head through the wall if you don't sit the fuck down.
She's
Just
a mean lady.
obscene shit.
She's a mean lady.
Yeah.
Also super nice. All right, let's move on.
All right, next question is from Tag Loro. He says, who is the most memorable father from a game you
What the
played?
fuck is going on? Oh, because of
It's
Father's,
Father's
Day.
Day.
God damn it.
And also, why do anime protagonists always have an absent father or parents? I wouldn't know about the anime part. Memorable father from a game. So that's kind of the question we were asked earlier, video game father. Yeah, I don't know.
They all die. It's hard.
Kratos,
It's-
arguably one of the most memorable.
Yeah,
fathers
isn't
for
there
me.
like a whole thing with in God of War 3 with Kratos and his son?
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, part one, he kills his own family, and their ashes are grafted onto his skin, so he never forgets. Because in his blood rage and warmongering, he destroyed his own family, and
He gets tricked by Ares,
Yeah.
into killing his own family.
and so that's why he's white complexion.
Okay, so not a good father.
Not a good father. No.
I mean, well, yeah, when you're tricked by a god, literal god,
Yeah,
but
dude,
not
but
like
he
when
was-
actually.
But he had the
It's one of the
bloodlust,
things-
dude. He had the blood. Don't defend him, dude. He had the bloodlust. He wanted to kill. Yeah?
His own family.
Yes or no? Not his own family. But
Well, I mean, yeah. So yeah, he was one of the greatest Spartan fighters of all time, but he wasn't trying to just murk his own family. I think I'm referencing him in the third game. Like you see him go from like shitty dad to like legitimately caring about his son, and I don't know. It's really memorable. It's like one of the greatest stories in gaming.
Nick, can you help me out? I played that game for 5 minutes. I got to a door and I couldn't open the door. How do I open the door?
You have to find the switch where you throw the axe into like the ice, and then it'll open it.
Throw the axe into the ice. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I'll help you out when you legitimately need help.
It's been a while. I haven't powered up that PS4 in a while.
So good, dude.
Do you want to borrow it, Bobby? Do you want to play The Last of Us 2? I mean, dude, it's fucking worth playing.
Yeah, I might check that out because I could just hook that up with an HDMI cable. That's all I need, right?
Into your TV, yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. I'll,
Yeah.
I'll give you the cable. It comes with the cable.
Oh, Big
I would like
Daddy
to see
from
Buddy play.
Bioshock. There you go. There's some good protective fathers.
Ooh. Piss. Boo.
Like a humpback whale. All right. Tag Laurel also asks, who would be the better dad, Gordon Freeman, Doom Guy, or Link? They
I do
all
have-
never talk.
Sorry, going to go back a little bit. I'm going to say the father from Fallout 3. The whole game is you following in his footsteps. and that's the best father story. You're just
Well,
trying to.
what about Fallout 4? You're playing the dad and you're looking for your kid.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're just trying to find your baby. It's the opposite of 3, if you think about it.
Yeah. Well, they all revolve around. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. All right. Sorry.
Okay, so who's the better dad? Gordon Freeman, Doom Guy, or Link? Link seems a little young. Doom
Well,
Guy?
he's an
Gordon-
elf. They don't age. Like
Yeah.
Legolas is like 400 years old. Yeah.
Isn't Gordon Freeman like a molecular scientist?
He's an engineer of some sort. Yeah. He's
I mean,
definitely.
he probably makes pretty dope money. He's probably understanding.
I mean, I would take any one of these guys. They
I
all
mean,
sound
Doom
awesome.
Guy.
Yo, you have a monster in your closet? Let me rip its heart out and stuff it down its own nostrils. Got it.
Yeah.
Done. Don't worry about it. Imagine.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, based off of badassery, I'm gonna choose Doom Guy, but
Yeah, it's
I don't
weird
know.
because if you want to go with like the nicest guy that's going to show you appreciation for nature, you go with Link. But if you want to learn scientific, it's all 3. It's a combination of all 3. If they all fucked each other, that's my dad.
My 3 dads.
My 3 dads.
my 3 dads.
All right. Tag also asked, does your dad play games?
My dad was a very smart guy. Like I said, he was an engineer, but he, I mean, very simple puzzles I'd put in front of him for video games. He's like, I don't get it. Because of the way it wasn't tactile, didn't matter. If it's on a screen, doesn't matter.
That's interesting.
My dad played a lot of pinball back in the day. He always enjoyed pinball, but he never really played games.
My dad, besides card games and Spyro that one time, yeah, no, he doesn't really play games.
Dads suck. All right. Until this generation.
Yeah.
A lot of gaming dads now.
Sniper, you want to say anything about like fatherdom or your dad or anything? You want to chime in anywhere?
No, I don't really have any good. My dad played a game once, and he always tried to play games with me, but then I started to beat him, and that's when he just pieced out because he didn't really have the time to learn. He was just trying to do something with me, and then it's not very fun when I'm like headshotting him in Halo. He's like, okay, I think I'm done here. So
See, these shitty stories is why you're behind the scenes, dude, right there. So
yeah,
actually, that was a good story, dude. I'm just kidding.
But
Thanks, man.
Emilio, what's the last extreme dad moment you've had since you're dead?
When he died, that was pretty extreme.
No, not your dad. I'm talking about you with Luna and Mila.
Oh, this morning, dude. It was awesome. On Father's Day, she's starting to talk, all that stuff. And so stringing words together is now the new shit, right? She only has like 15 words at the high end. But when she takes 2 of them and put them together. So I woke up this morning, I got up to go pee, and she says, "Bye-bye, Dada." Like putting 2 words together is like epic shit. Like I had a smile on my face the entire pee. She's done it before though. They're really cute every time. I'm going to go through every single one. I flushed the toilet and she said, "Bye-bye, Kaka." So that was really good. And then there was water all over the floor when we were like spraying. I was gardening or whatever. And she's like, "Uh-oh, agua." Or, "Uh-oh, water." Yeah.
Mine was today. Vivian was laying down and took a adult-sized shit. And in this shitting, she also like got her heels and pushed herself along the rug, our brand new like 1-month-old rug, and smeared shit all over the rug. And I didn't notice because I was watching TV and we were just chilling in the same room. And she sits up, puts her hands in her butt, and then puts it in her hair.
Oh my God, shit hair?
Yeah, and dude, I'm like, you know what?
It's happened 7 times in human history, dude, and now 8th today.
And I was just like, you know what? As much I love this little shit covered baby, you're going to the bathtub right now.
Oh yeah, what else are you gonna do, dude?
Dude, I
Get
at
out the
one point I
clippers.
tried to like cover the hemorrhaging. Like I took her to her room, put her on the changing pad like face down, and was trying to wipe her with wipies. And at one point, I was just like, "Oh no, this is too far.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I cut nothing for this."
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Like if you shit your pants, dude, it's there. Toilet paper is not going to help that, dude. It's time for a
No.
shower. It's time for a shower and maybe a fire hose.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad.
Yep.
But
Well,
yeah,
on
that
that
was-
note, what's everybody playing next week?
It's up to Nick, right? Nick, aren't you? Oh, you really want to go?
I mean,
through?
we're ready to Chivalry, but you guys are complaining about the $40 price tag.
Let's all play
Uh,
Dead Space 3.
I'll play. Do you want Dead Space 3 game of the week, and then
Fine.
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
All right.
It's we'll say it's a retro game.
I'll do the single player aspect while you guys do the multiplayer aspect. How about that?
Yeah, message me, Bobby. I'm available anytime after 5 your time every day, pretty much.
After 5? Okay, I can find a day that makes that work.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, I've actually started playing through the single player campaign on Battlefront 2. It's not anything amazing, but I'm hoping to finish that, maybe even play the
Could have sworn you
expansion.
played that already.
I
dude.
did. I played it on
Off
your
my
account.
account, yeah.
And I am at the point now. I almost beat it. I was pretty close, actually. But I'm at the point now where I've reached further than I was at the first time I played it.
Before or after Luke Skywalker?
After.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll be playing a bit of that, and I'm probably going to check out a ton of these demos. Terra Nil looks really good. Katie and Meow Meow Land looks pretty good. It's,
Of course.
yeah. And there's also a cat puzzle game that looked pretty good. Oh, and also Chasing Static. So the developer behind Guard Duty, I interviewed him maybe a year and a half ago. His new game, Chasing Static, the demo is out for that.
Nice.
I'm going to be playing Shiv, and then if the Escape from Tarkov wipe happens this week, I'll be doing it. There's some crazy shit going on right now in the game. They're like making all the bosses spawn at once on like one map and making everybody shit their pants. But yeah, no, I'll be playing one of those 2 games.
Cool. All right. Speaking for Cristiano, Bobby, Nick, and myself, Katie and Meow Meow Tits. Bye.
Bye.
It's Meow Meow Land, actually.
Yeah, but I switched to the tits because that's
Oh.
what I do every episode, man. I find a
Hey.
super clever, super funny way of
I'm
saying
gonna
it.
phone my dad.
Hey, Emilio, did you see Luca yet?
The gamer movie.
The movie.